IVM.
All of these could be false, all of these could be true.
Season
I'm
2.
not going to explain it at all. This is part of the myth of Atmaram. I will never explain Atmaram. बहुत मुश्किल था यार, मैं तो मतलब मरमरा गया मैं. अरे
कमाल
बहुत डिफिकल्ट था, बहुत डिफिकल्ट था. हर रोज मैं सोचता था ये क्या मुसीबत मोल लिया मैंने. How do all such wonderful people, such talented people come together and completely get it so off the charts wrong? Like then when I was not happy with the edit. It was meddled with, I think, and then they kind of ruined it.
Hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Pop Rap. I'm Antariksh Tucker, joined by Snayhil and
hello.
and also Gulshan Devaiah's shoes. I mean, just look at these specimens, guys.
Them
Come on.
bones, them bones.
Yes.
I think it's called Them Bones. I'm not sure though. By Jeremy Scott and Adidas.
Wow,
I
really?
love them.
Really. Now, I hope you get at least 10 more pairs of these shoes because you showed them here on this.
I am
मिलता नहीं है
definitely
ये.
getting
ऐसे
them. अगर मुझे कहीं पे भी दिखे, I'm
I have
definitely
not
getting
seen them anywhere. I don't think you get them now.
या
on
आपको
this-
इंडिया में मिले?
No, do you think there's a chance of a hookup?
For retail.
Do you think there's a chance of a hookup?
But I
of
have
this
not
year's-
seen this
year?
on any
Oh, okay.
resale sites. I have not seen
हाँ
them.
मैंने भी नहीं देखे.
I have not seen them.
Alright, cool. So the last like 15 minutes I've been sitting here while you guys have talked about your shoes.
Yes.
You've complimented his, he's complimented yours.
See, my shoes and my cats are with me.
Your shoes and your cats are with you. Yes.
Stroking my cat.
Yes, absolutely. Gulshan, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We are both huge fans. We have seen almost everything you've done.
Yes.
We both got done with Guns and Gulaabs in the first week.
In the
that it
first
was
You know,
out.
I wish I could say the same about the two of you.
No, you can. You don't mind. You can. You don't mind that.
Even we.
Char Cut Atmaram ne काट दिया.
Yeah. But
Sorry,
only
sorry.
3 slices, not the fourth. Not yet. Straight up, Guns and Gulaabs, so fun.
So
Like,
fun.
what a great world. Your character is awesome. We have so much to talk about
Let's
that.
talk about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Char Cut Atmaram. Are you a Guy Ritchie fan?
I
Guy Ritchie
like
film
his
fan?
movies, not all his movies, but I think he like the first Lock, Stock, and then Snatch, and I
Yeah.
did mind Rock and Roller also.
Yeah, Rock and Roll also pretty good.
Yeah.
I like.
So they were pretty good, and Layer Cake also. Like that's no Layer Cake is. No,
Revolver
sorry.
was the one after that.
Revolver,
the gang
sorry,
one.
Revolver, yeah,
The
not
gang.
Layer
The
Cake,
gang
sorry.
one, yeah.
Layer Cake was.
Layer Cake,
no,
I
no,
don't think
sorry,
that's
sorry,
Guy
sorry.
Ritchie, yeah.
And even the Sherlock Holmes one that he did was pretty okay.
Yeah, that's good. Not
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, I had a little bit of a tough time accepting.
RDJ.
Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, he did a good job.
Yeah.
It was a fun.
But also,
movie
like, it was a
and-
little departure from what you expect from Guy Ritchie, also a little bit, maybe, though.
That's exactly why I made my peace with it also, because
Yeah.
like it's his perspective. I've not
course.
seen Arthur though, the King Arthur.
The King Arthur.
I've
wala.
not seen
Yeah,
that one.
Fair, yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of style and all those things, and maybe Bijoy Nambiar was a bit influenced by Guy Ritchie. A lot
Yeah.
of people consciously, subconsciously are.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think I am, because I'm
Okay.
not a filmmaker. I'm
Fair.
not a filmmaker, but I understand that every storyteller has a sensibility. They have a way of looking at the world, and they have a way in which they tell their stories.
Yeah,
And as an actor, you have to understand that and serve that sensibility.
absolutely.
So,
Like, I remember when I was watching Guns and Gulaabs, and you see these moments
Yeah.
where you see stylistically they've taken like a shot
that
here
I'm
or
not sure.
something there.
I'm not sure if they are Guy Ritchie fans or if
Oh
there's
no!
any
So
direct
basically,
influence.
like how
Maybe Coen
Char-
brothers. I know that they do like the Coen brothers.
Oh, okay. No. So I'll just a specific moment was when Char Cut Atmaram was introduced.
Yeah.
That whole thing is very similar to how Bullet to Tony's introduced. And I was like, yes, that's it.
Wow.
Someone's doing it. I love it. It was so cool.
I think it's just by chance.
By chance.
Pure
Okay, cool.
coincidence.
Very, very cool that it happened. Again, congratulations on all the success of Guns and Gulaabs.
Thank you.
What's this press tour been like now that people have seen the show and people are loving it? And
I think people really resonate with the
Absolutely.
show and the character.
Yeah.
I think it's really captured people's imagination. So, and I am benefiting that. If some other actor would have played it, I think they would have benefited it.
of course,
I think of course, I brought a lot of creativity into it, and I enjoyed doing it, and I had my own interpretation of Char Cut Atmaram. But I think the character was such that if some other actor also would have played, and I think it still would have like been an interesting character. And I don't think Raj and DK are idiots that they would have cast some like rubbish, they would have miscast that. Like I don't think they can ever miscast. So they get their casting quite on point.
At what point did you know the other star cast? Like, did you know before signing the project, or did you know after signing the project?
No, except for Dulquer, I knew of
wow.
everybody. Yeah.
Cool.
It was somebody else, and that didn't work. Yeah, that didn't work out. But I'm glad that Dulquer became part of this. I think he's also glad.
And how much
Yeah.
have you managed to poach his fans? I know you've been saying that in other interviews.
He's very sweet. Like whatever, like if his fans are willing to sort of engage with me and watch my work, they're most welcome. But he's I really like him. He's very sweet, and I hope I get to do something also with him. We got along really well, and he handles his stardom also with such elegance and grace.
Yeah.
And there's something that you can learn the way with such ease.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Like I think
Doesn't take it seriously at all. It's just like flows. It's so easy about it. Yeah.
Nice.
the chemistry between all you guys, all the characters
It
in the
was
show
so
is
good.
so good.
Yeah,
Like
I think Raj, of course, is one of the most well-talented, well-prepared, and कहते हैं ना तैयार actors.
जी हाँ.
He's had a wonderful career also, envious career.
Hmm.
Gaurav is really, I think, there's great things that one can expect from him.
Absolutely.
Adarsh.
We just did an interview
We
with him.
just-
I know,
yeah.
Adarsh. So yeah, and his work in Guns and Gulaabs is like I told this to him also. It's like a concept album. You can't really watch one scene. You have to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So well done.
Only then you're able
yeah.
to sort of make sense as to.
लास्ट
Yeah,
सीन
correct.
के बाद इतने डॉट्स कनेक्ट
हाँ,
होते हैं
हाँ,
उस
correct,
कैरेक्टर
correct.
में.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love his entire character arc of going to a place, just listening to the shit the other person is saying, and like, okay, I'll be back. Leaving.
It's
And, like,
one
second
of those
taxi.
rare opportunities also that actors gets. Like these sort of parts are not written very often.
Yeah.
And it just
Very
so happened that, and he really, I think, took this responsibility, and he really ran with it.
Hmm.
And I couldn't understand what he was doing until I got to the end. The thing is, like, I didn't read all the parts that I was not in, so that when I watch it, it's fresh for me.
Yeah,
Fair.
nice.
So I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I really didn't know that revelation
Oh.
for Jugnu. I didn't know.
Oh,
Acha.
fab.
So
Okay,
when I
great.
saw it, I experienced it like with everybody else, like
Yeah.
as an
Nice,
audience.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So with long formats, I think it's also it's too much to read. And then also it makes it interesting whenever you sit down and watch it. It makes it interesting for you because these things don't really have one or two characters.
Yeah,
right?
right.
It has a lot of different characters, and
Yeah.
there are like 3-4 tracks
Yeah.
parallelly running. There was the kids track, which I
Yes.
really liked.
Yes.
And I couldn't make sense of Adarsh's performance. I was like, yeah, he's a good actor, but I'm not really getting what he's trying to like. He's making some choices which I
Yeah.
don't really understand. And they all tie in when you see, which is why I said that it's like a concept album. You have to listen to the whole thing. You
Then
can't just
only
listen
you'll get to know
yeah,
कि
yeah, yeah.
वो जा रहा है तो कहाँ जा रहा है.
हाँ.
बट आपका जो कैरेक्टर था उस कैरेक्टर में आपने कुछ इम्प्रोव मोमेंट्स डाले या वो सब कुछ जितने भी थे वो सब लिखे हुए थे?
I think both were there. I can't remember exactly that whole like Sanjay Dutt thing that kaisa lag raha hu.
Kaisa
That's
lag
an
raha hu.
improv. That's an improv.
Ah.
I mean, it was never intended to be a Sanjay Dutt fan or anything. The hairstyle reference was Sanjay Dutt.
Okay.
Oh.
So when the
So
hairstyle,
आपने
that's
अंडरटेकर
it.
भी डाला अपने
अंडरटेकर मैंने डाला, वो improv है. वो मैंने डाला है Undertaker. तो एक है, I do some Undertaker bits which is not easy to catch on a small
Yeah.
screen. I wish this thing was available on big screen, yaar. Shit. Anyway.
Did you get to
and
meet
the dance? Some things were improv, and I came up with the cuts where the 4 cuts will be placed. I came up with that.
Oh wow.
The meanings were concocted by Raj DK and the writing team
Nice.
and Suman, I suppose.
Oh wow.
And they came up with all the things which, if you ask me, I don't even remember. Because I tried desperately hard, and I did some research on it, and where certain arteries are there, and the last one is a liver puncture.
Oh, अच्छा.
So I came up with that. The teeth were my idea. I wanted different color eyes, but the eyes were their idea. The hair was their idea. Tattoos was already there.
Okay.
The knife was my idea. It was a different knife. I asked for a Rampuri that's manually opened and not a switchblade. Because I wanted the sound, the cut sound. It's a very 50s, 60s Hindi film villain type of a thing.
Yes,
So it's in a way, it's like a hat tip to
Okay.
like those ideas.
I have a question. If you've seen the show, anyone who's seen the show knows that there's a scene where you get shot in
the balls. Yeah.
In the balls. But it misses and completely goes through.
Yeah.
And I've just seen that scene 10-15 times. I'm like, how is that possible? How is that still missing? Can you just explain? What is your theory?
I'm not going to explain it.
Okay. I mean, I tried.
That's Atmaram.
It's Atmaram.
That is Atmaram.
That's
You never know.
Magic.
You can have your own theories that maybe there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Or maybe it really missed.
Yeah, maybe
it's really small.
Maybe there is
all of these could be false, all of these could be true. I'm not going to explain it at all. This is part of the myth of Atmaram.
Yeah.
I will never explain Atmaram.
What would you like to see happen in season 2? Don't tell us if it's happening or not. What would you like to see happen for your character in season 2?
I don't particularly know. Maybe not too much like into the backstory. I think it'd be interesting to keep it a bit mysterious.
Love it.
I think that's why I think people really connect with the character. There's a certain mystery. Who is he? Where is he coming from? Suddenly he's speaking Telugu, something else.
Exactly.
He's speaking English, and then you don't really know.
हाँ मतलब आत्माराम का हमें एक्चुअल देखा जाए तो कुछ भी नहीं पता है कहाँ से आया नया आइडिया 7 जिंदगियां हैं और हमने मान लिया है किसी के पास एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं पता नहीं
Why can't he talk longer than a minute? We don't know.
पैसे बचा रहा था भाई 1 मिनट होगा तो फिर उसके 2 रुपए बढ़ जाएंगे.
I think I don't really have any set ideas. I'm also curious because I have no idea if there is going to be a season 2 what Rajan DK and Suman are going to plan. I have no idea. So I'm also curious, but I mean, I don't know if there is anything particular that I would like to see. Like, I would like to get a better Yazdi that starts. Okay, cool. खटा रहा है. तो start ही नहीं होती है यार. टांग टूट जाती है. This is a really old one. The one that kicks back is the old technology. It's like really we're not used to it. Yes. And with those boots, because the boots are so big that I can't, because वो footrest में लग जाता है मेरा पैर. जी. तो मेरे को हमेशा गाड़ी starting में रखना होता था and I'm pretending like I'm kick starting it.
Okay, so everything is sound.
हाँ वो sound design पे I was like there's no way I can start it. वो start करके देते थे. वो kick ही नहीं मार पाता था मैं. Not like I was incapable of the kick. Those boots ना, it's just impossible. वो जगह ही नहीं है. So
you don't even think about these
people
things.
think it's really cool and all this. And I'm like, no man, it's not practical.
Not cool at all.
उससे अच्छा हाथी पाल लो. At least you are not confused.
You said you designed the 4 cuts.
Designed as in I came up with where the 4 cuts can be.
Like,
there were many options.
Did you have to research or did you like off?
I did go on some
how to kill people website.
No. There are a lot of stuff online, be it on YouTube or on websites, where you can learn about arteries and also fatalities due to knife wounds.
Oh, okay, wow.
Yeah, so like medical stuff and all that. So a compilation of those and also a lot of self-defense people will also teach you like what are the main points, or also like if you get cut somewhere, should you be worried or not worried? So I just went through a whole bunch of stuff like that. And there are people on YouTube also who have videos who are like self-defense and martial arts people who will tell you like what are the key points that you can strike. So I made a compilation of those and I had various options out of which they chose one pattern. Like I had given them like ये चार कट, फिर ये चार कट, ऐसे 2-3-4 options दिए थे मैंने. And I think Rajan DK had a discussion. I would send it all to Raj sir because Raj sir was the one who usually I'm in touch with. So back and forth, and then I think they had a discussion. I said, this seems like quite. I might have the notes somewhere. I don't know if it's here or like it's there somewhere.
If you can share with us, we would love to show it to our.
It's private.
You heard it here, guys. Notes exist.
All of these things he kept. मतलब आम खाओ ना, कहाँ से आया आम, किसने उगाया आम, इससे क्या था?
You strike us. We were talking before this.
Yes.
And you strike us as someone who will take these offbeat roles, but also always add like a comedic tinge or a comedic touch to them. Would I be right in saying this?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
The comedy was always there in the scenes, the way it was written. It was always. You get shot in the balls and nothing happens to you. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't have to bring in a comic element to it. I think what you're trying to say is that I understood the sensibilities of Rajan DK because I've seen their work. I've also worked with them before. And they find some kind of absurd humorous situations in their scenes. And it's a bit absurd, some of the humor. and sometimes it's not even connected to the scene. It's almost like a gag, but it's not indulgent. That's the thing. Sometimes people get really carried away, and that's what happens when too much of improvisations happen. Then people get really carried away, and then in isolation the scene is really funny and hilarious, but when you see whole thing, it just feels like indulgent. It's just like a gag. One scene doesn't tie in well with the other one. So I think they are able to sort of control that. They give you enough room to sort of be creative, but also keep it together.
एक दायरा रख देते हैं कि हाँ मतलब
because they know how this is going to carry on to the other scene, so they kind of keep it together. But they will find those absurd moments. So I was familiar with that. So I know their sensibility. So now I know how to serve that sensibility. I think that's why that thing automatically happens, that if you see that certain things were... So I imagine in my head, I know this is a bit... I don't know if it'll make sense, but in my head, I was in a western film, like a Sergio Leone spaghetti western film. तो वो सब style, वो खड़े होने का style, वो सब था. So that approach is serving their sensibilities, because they are creating a very fictitious world where it's a bit over the top. It's not really, it seems like it's based in reality, but it's a fantasy world.
Exactly, yes.
Right?
Yes.
So everything is a bit exaggerated. It gives you the illusion of reality, that it's real, that these people are real. But suddenly Atmaram is like, he's able to move really fast. Now, is it real or is it Pana Tipu who is dazed and confused seeing it like that? We don't know.
That's true.
So these situations are, how do you interpret them? So my approach of thinking that I'm in a western kind of really helped me serve their sensibilities
also.
So and then the humor is very obvious, it's there.
आपके ह्यूमर के उस पे बात करें, ह्यूमरस प्रोजेक्ट्स के बारे में बात करें, तो आपका ह्यूमर जैसे हंटर में आपने किया, उसके बाद अफसोस एंड दिस, तो
मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता
ऑफ कोर्स, हु कैन नॉट लाइक एग्जैक्टली. सो ये सब,
और मेरी एक और कॉमेडी फिल्म है शायद, वो क्या है वो,
सडनली सारा शांत एकदम.
नहीं.
You actually try to remember? Or?
No, I was going to say Commando 3, but it's not comedy.
Okay, fair. But sorry, you said.
But yeah, all these roles, सब में एक वो जो कॉमेडी का जो ऐसा लाइनिंग रहता है आपका, is this something that you bring, या आपके roles में mostly वो एक ऐसा silver lining होता ही है?
I think with all my work, regardless of whether it's a comedy or not, I think I would really like, it's a lot of it is already there. Like, for example, in Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota, people imagined that a lot of those things were improvised by me, but they were already there. So it's just the way I interpret it. People feel that ye to matlab actor leke aaya hoga. But it's always a combination of both. Like, I was given a lot of space and opportunity to sort of be creative with the scenes and with the interpretation of the characters, and to build these characters also from ground up. And this happens with some of my serious roles also, like if Dahad. Reema Kakti had given me a lot of freedom to interpret, this policeman who wants to do the right thing, and who would say who's always trying to do the right thing. He has his flaws, but those are already written there. It's in the script. So it's a combination of that. I'm an interpreter of text. I can have creative ideas, but I need a platform. Like, I need something to read and say, how do I interpret this? What is my interpretation of this? Now, how am I going to use this information to create the illusion of reality? A performance is always an illusion of reality. The more details you're able to put in it, the more intact the illusion. So that way, that's how, it's a collaborative work, right? So it's
of
like
course,
that.
Yes.
But sometimes when certain directors or filmmakers would control too much as to how to feel the particular look, it gets really stifling. I can't really function that very well. I need that thing to sort of interpret the text a little bit.
Understood.
And feel creative.
Yeah.
Then I think I am able to sort of, like with Dibakar, I would blindly follow what he says also, because I know that there is a certain trust level.
Yeah, sure.
He gives you freedom, and with Rajan DK or Harshvardhan Kulkarni or Vasan Bala, I would also follow what they say, because there is already a rapport, I know that they trust me as an actor. They given me the responsibility of creating this character also. But at the same time, I am also aware that they see things a certain way which I am not able to see sometimes. Because I am not a filmmaker, I am not a storyteller.
Yes.
I can probably imagine my character, how my character would behave in the cold, in the rain, in the dark, how we would pet a cat or be scared of a dog or something like that. But I may not be able to tell that story. So they are in. So
Absolutely.
it's a combination of this understanding.
Lovely. Also, I just want to mention and appreciate the Diwakar Banerjee.
और रिया के पापा. बहुत मुश्किल था यार, मैं तो मतलब मरमर आ गया मैं. अरे
कमाल.
बहुत डिफिकल्ट था. हर रोज मैं सोचता था ये क्या मुसीबत मोल लिया मैंने.
But it turned out to be great. I am a fan of that.
It was probably the best one script wise, and
Yeah.
Diwakar's scripts are so good. Yeah, I mean he's really a wonderful director. Like I enjoyed working with him as a director. The director actor, like the things that he tells you, like I had no reason to question anything that he said.
मतलब आप पूरी एंथोलॉजी देखते हो, उसमें आप चारों वो देखते हो, एंड में जब वो आता है लाइक यू नो उसमें भी फॉर द फर्स्ट 15-20 मिनट्स लाइक क्या हो रहा है, कौन सी दुनिया है, क्या है क्या नहीं, एंड देन जब आप कार में ऐसे पीछे मुड़ के अपना वो एक लाइन बोलते हो एंड देन एवरीथिंग जस्ट मेक्स सेंस. इट्स अ ब्यूटीफुल स्टोरी. So
and he allows the audience to have their own interpretations of the story. Is it a dream? Is it reality? Is it both? Is it figment of imagination? क्या है वो, कुछ भी हो सकता है, पॉलिटिकल है, नॉन पॉलिटिकल है, बैड ड्रीम है, एनीथिंग. इट्स लाइक इट्स सो well written that you can have your own interpretation of this, you know. But the only thing that I didn't like was that on their set ना वो चिकन के पीसेस ना काउंट करके देते थे, 4 पीस.
ये क्या बात हुई यार?
not fair.
चिंदी गिरी है गुरु यार.
I wasn't. I get what you're saying because I was in boarding school for 2 years in my life, and we were supposed to get every Sunday was supposed to be biryani day. For the last 6 months that we were in school, they made it anda biryani. अंडा बिरयानी क्या होता है? एक्सपेक्टिंग मटन एंड चिकन. अंडा बिरयानी क्या दे रहे हो यार?
अंडा बिरयानी होता है जिसमें अंडा है.
I mean, yeah, I know what it is, but that's like cheating, you know. You can't give us eggs.
देखो भाई, बिरयानी और पुलाव के बारे में बात करोगे तो हम थोड़े से नॉलेज रखते हैं इन चीज़ों के बारे में.
I've also heard you talk about the audition process and you going through auditions, and that not, in your opinion, being...
I don't enjoy the audition process that much.
I get it. Like we both done a little bit of acting over here and there, you know. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. Like the audition, it seems like it's not a good representation of what.
No, it's not fun. I'm like, my logic is that it's just not fun. Firstly, you don't get enough time. You don't get enough material to work with, and it's just not fun. The whole process of building a character and creating that illusion, as I said, that's how I look at it. I use a lot of my imagination. I mean, my work is not really so much research based. I mean, it's there wherever is necessary. Like I told you with the knife thing.
With the knife
I
thing,
didn't know,
yes.
so that research really helped me. But then you modify that also to sort of suit the script, the character.
Of course, yes.
But a lot of it is also use of imagination, and then that takes time and then practice. Like, you know, try things out and see what's working, what's not working, and it's a process of selection and elimination. So an audition process is, it's probably the best way. I do understand the necessity of it. It's a really good way of assessing physically who suits the part and a lot of those things. But many times certain actors are not able to bring the kind of performance that they're capable of in a simple audition process. And it's just not fun because it's just one scene or 2 scenes. You don't really enjoy playing that character. Because you know that it'll start here, it'll end here, and this may end up in you getting the job or not getting the job. So I just find it like not fun. It's like doing ads, like 30 minutes. It's so technical. It's like you don't really have fun playing a character.
You think there is scope to change the audition process a little bit?
No, I can't think of it. By now I would have thought of it. No, but I don't think it is... it's not a bad process. It's just that I have seldom enjoyed it.
Basically.
I have seldom enjoyed
Yeah, मैं तो आज सुबह ही रिजेक्ट हो. मैंने परसों एक ऑडिशन भेजा था. आज सुबह मैसेज आया, we are really very sorry, you can release the dates. I'm like shit. But चलो ठीक है.
Just release the dates.
Release and keep them released. They're never gonna be filled up.
बाथरूम में जाकर रिलीज कर दिया मैंने dates.
Really good things.
वीडियो भेजूं क्या?
What would you say? Were you big into comedy as a kid?
I used to watch all kinds of films except
kinds of
horror. Except horror.
Oh, same. मतलब I तो can't watch horror today also.
हाथ में रहती
बहुत ज़्यादा.
मेरी भी फटती तो है, but I enjoy that feeling of फटो, you know. Like I know that I'm scared, but I'll be like, oh wow, I like how this movie.
आपने कोई horror film hall में देखी है आज तक?
Not really horror in hall. नहीं.
मैंने अभी
मैं तो जाऊंगा ही नहीं.
मैं एग्जैक्टली मैं द पोप्स एग्जॉसिस्ट आई थी अभी वो देखने गया मैं. लकीली उसके अंदर फालतू के जंप स्केयर्स नहीं है तो मैं बच गया. पर हॉरर तो मैं फूक तक नहीं देख पाता हूँ मैं.
नहीं मैं हिंदी वाले भी नहीं देख.
वही मतलब फूक तक नहीं देख पाता हूँ.
मैंने वो राधिका की फोबिया देखी. वो टेक्निकली हॉरर नहीं है लेकिन है.
ओह आई ट्राइड वाचिंग इट बट
अरे उसमें भी फट गई थी मेरी.
हाँ
तो आए and then you remember that film called Congo जहाँ पे वो those white gorillas are there like the killer gorillas.
I've heard but I haven't watched it.
यार वो
Have you seen Tumbad by any chance?
हाँ Tumbad I've seen. Tumbad I saw on the big thing. It's like I enjoyed it. It's a rare exception that I saw. I wouldn't technically call it a horror film.
Exactly.
But है. But वो थोड़ा सा वो scary moments में वो डर लगता ही है.
तुम्बाड़ में जब मेरे को लोगों ने बोला था कि देखो अच्छी है ये वो तो I started watching तुम्बाड़ and starting में जब वो दादी का सीन आता है ना मैंने बंद कर दी थी. I was like नहीं हो पाएगा.
One with the tree or something.
Yes, I was like it नहीं हो सकता. And then people were like Snayhil उस सीन के आगे बढ़ो तो हॉरर नहीं है. बस वो सीन निकाल लो. फिर जो वो सिरा मैंने उसको 10 seconds
I saw it on the big screen. I was fortunate that I was invited for a special screening of the film. So I saw it on the big screen with all the sound and all the things. It was a good experience. I really enjoyed watching that film. Quite unique.
Yes. Apparently they are making like the second part to it.
Good.
Oh, yes. They are apparently making a second part to it. Fully looking forward to that.
Favorite movies growing up? Like what's the one movie that you can watch again and again and again and again and again and again?
Forrest Gump perhaps.
Oh, fab.
Forrest Gump I can.
Or Lal Singh Chaddha.
I have not watched Lal Singh Chaddha.
Okay.
Yeah, I like when you like something and then there is another interpretation of it. Sometimes you need some time to be okay with other people.
That's true.
I'm sure it like I don't know, but
वो Indianized version of Forrest Gump
हो सकता है. अच्छा बुरा वो तो subjective matter है.
Exactly. Yes.
मेरा मन नहीं किया देखने का. Or actually I was invited for a screening but I was busy that day so I didn't go.
Okay.
I didn't go and then
so otherwise Forrest Gump is your favorite movie?
I watched it a lot of times and I'm sure there are other films that I can't really think of. There Will Be Blood. I can watch it over and over again. Every time I see it I see something new that I can learn from and one of the greatest male performances of all time.
Yeah.
And for Bollywood, in Bollywood?
I'm sure there are. There are, but I'm just not able to think of right now. There is no such thing as a perfect movie, but there are some films that you can like rewatch. Hera Pheri.
Any day.
I know it's like but any day. मतलब अभी भी वो 2000 की फिल्म है वो 23 साल हो गए लेकिन I can still watch it like really. I'm not one of those fans कि मुझे dialogue याद रहेगा ऐसा नहीं है मेरा. I just enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it when I watched it for the first time and I watched it many times on TV पे आता रहता है कहीं ना कहीं. किसी के यहाँ जाओ या किसी दोस्त के जाओ या प्लेन पे if there is हेरा फेरी then I मैं तो YouTube पे उसका प्ले देखता हूँ.
All that 3 टकले 1
and there's also see like I'm also like I was very early on into like the series formats also the TV series and British comedies. So वो Blackadder करके एक series है.
Oh man, yes.
That's one thing that
Rowan Atkinson मतलब
उल्टा लटक के देख सकता हूँ.
Cool. Oh dude, it's excellent. If you guys haven't seen it, each season is like a different era kind of.
First season is not very good, but you still have to watch it. But second season say ना it just transforms and it's just really.
कहाँ पे देख सकते हैं?
Do you know the history of Blackadder? Why Rowan Atkinson is in it?
No.
So Rowan Atkinson wrote the series also. Okay, he's one of the creators of the show, and they were casting for the role of Blackadder, but they couldn't find an actor who could do it as well as the writer himself, as Rowan Atkinson. So at the end they were like, okay, so ठीक है, Rowan, you.
But he was already famous as because not the 9 o'clock news and all of these things had come.
Yeah, fair.
and he was already quite popular.
Yeah, but he
as
wasn't.
a comic
I don't know
actor.
why he wasn't being considered
I
for
have
this.
seen the documentary of the making of the thing, but
Yeah.
what you're saying is probably there in it,
Yeah.
but I can't remember.
Yeah, but again, this is amazing.
Can't
Blackadder, you said Blackadder, it just blew my mind.
कहाँ
Nobody
कहाँ
talks about
देख
Blackadder.
सकते हैं?
ये-
You know, through dubious means, you'll have to find it.
नहीं,
How you
YouTube पे
find it.
clips आपको मिल जाएंगे,
हाँ.
and also the
Oh.
special editions like the
Yeah.
comic relief editions or Red Nose Day editions, वो सब मिल जाएगा आपको.
हाँ.
But वो ढूंढ लो यार, मिल जाएगा.
यार मिल जाए. कल ही ऐसे मैंने
No,
ढूंढ
no,
ढूंढ
I'm
के
sure it will
Silence
be
of the Lambs
available
देखे.
on. अभी
Yeah.
now BBC is also available. You can subscribe.
हाँ, हाँ.
I think through
Yeah.
I think Amazon.
Amazon,
you can get,
yeah.
उसमें शायद लिस्टिंग मिल जाएगी आपको.
Wow. मैंने अभी ऐसे dubious means से
And
मैंने कल Silence
it's
of the Lambs देखा.
hilarious. And that I can watch, and also
Blackadder's so good.
Jeeves and Wooster I can watch
Jeeves and Wooster,
anytime.
okay.
Like really, it's just I'm fascinated by that certain world, and क्योंकि मैं कपड़े बनाता था ना, I'm also
Yeah.
like fascinated by British tailoring. So the Jeeves and Wooster is a show where like there's a lot of these men's tailoring, the clothes that they wear
Yeah.
from the early 20th century. So and it's quite fascinating. It's also hilarious.
आपने कहा आप कपड़े बनाते थे?
मैं बनाता था.
You used to make clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You used to teach also, right?
I used to teach in a fashion
Yes,
institute. yeah.
fashion
In a design
institute.
school. I,
Oh,
used to
design
teach. I
school.
went to NIFT. Actually, I'm not a trained actor, but I'm a trained designer.
Oh, wow.
So once I graduated, I started working, and one of the first jobs that I did was actually took up a teaching job.
Okay, wow.
So did that for nearly 3 years, and then I was like on off, like visiting faculty, and then I joined up with some friends and set up our own design company, and then I branched out of it my own freelance. I worked for मैंने साड़ी से लेके ब्राइडल और ये होटल यूनिफॉर्म्स और टी शर्ट प्रिंट्स
yeah.
सब कुछ बनाया मैंने.
That
And मैंने
explains
देखा-
the amazing.
fashion sense.
Yeah, I went to NIFT, so it's one
Yeah.
of the premier institutes
Yes.
in our country.
Yes.
So how did acting come about then? Like from
I was
this?
always बचपन से शौक था.
But
बहुत-
what was your first role, first audition? Like how did that come about?
Here in Mumbai.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
Once I moved here because I was doing theatre in Bangalore, so I knew some people. So Rajat Kapoor was just starting the rehearsals for Hamlet the Clown Prince.
Oh,
So I
that's
came
a
here and
great
I was
play.
introduced to him कि Gulshan है Bangalore का actor है. He said he was part of the whole group, and then through selection and elimination I was not part of the final cast.
हाँ.
But I stuck on, and I told him that I'll just stay on, I'll do something, and I started doing lights.
Yeah.
मुझे आता नहीं था, मैंने सीख के मतलब आधा एक घंटे में पैच कैसे करना है, वो
हाँ.
एनालॉग बोर्ड कैसे ये करना है. Then
I worked with with Mr. Rajat Kapoor on the Shakespeare Comedy Festival that used to happen in Delhi. All 4 clown plays they used to do.
So
and
the
I
first one was this one. Hamlet was
exactly.
the first.
Hamlet was the first one. Then
2008
Nothing Like
mein.
Leo happened, and then they have 4 plays. One is with Kalki, one is with Vinay Pathak.
Vinay Pathak.
Yes, and the other 2 are also there. So I was one of the volunteers in when they did the entire festival in Delhi. So they've adapted basically Shakespeare stories and
made clown shows.
shows out of
The
it.
clowns, how clowns would perform Shakespeare.
Okay, wow.
So anyway, I wasn't. So I became like sort of an understudy कि कोई available नहीं था तो मैं उनका रोल कर लेता था. तो नमित दास का मैं रोल कर लेता था.
Wow.
फिर ये नील भूपालम का करता था. So I got to do some shows also like that, and then that's when I was like auditioning. मैं auditions पे जाता था. Somebody saw me. आकर्ष खुराना है एक फिल्म मेकर है खुद, वो थिएटर के भी हैं. और he was casting for Rohan Sippy at that time for Dam Mara Dam. So he saw me sitting in Prithvi Cafe one day because हम लोग नाटक के सिलसिले में आए थे. कुछ हमारा tech rehearsal कुछ तो चल रहा था. He said कि he and another friend who was in my Sujay Saple who was in the natak with me in Hamlet. He said कि आप दोनों आ जाओ, auditions हैं वहाँ पे लोखंडा में. So then I got Dam Mara Dam like that.
Oh, wow.
फिर then Anurag and Kalki pitched me the role for that girl in yellow boots, and Anurag auditioned me after that. मतलब वो Anurag ने खुद लिया था audition. It was not through a casting director.
Was this difficult balancing your work as a designer and your work as an actor?
I have completely retired myself as a designer. When I moved to Mumbai, I had wound up everything. मैं हाथ धो के आ गया था. थोड़े बहुत पैसे बने थे, तो I was like हाँ ठीक है, इतना धक्के नहीं खाने पड़ेंगे. ट्रेन वेन में नहीं जाना पड़ेगा. टैक्सी वैक्सी में घूमेंगे हम लोग, ऑटो रिक्शा में.
What would you say is that one role of yours that people remember the most and they come up to you and like यार वो इसमें वो best था, like मर्द का दर्द होता, जिम्मी वो क्या मस्त था.
Don't think there is just one role. I think there are like different stages in my career. I think the first time definitely it was Shaitan, because there was an incredible,
Excellent.
incredible
What a role,
buzz
what a performance.
for the film before release also, the
Yeah.
way it was promoted also was like, I think people really kind of, whether they went and watched the film or not, they knew about Shaitan.
About the
Yeah.
film,
Hota
yeah.
tha. So I think that was the first time I felt something really palpable, and it kind of scared me also because I didn't really know how to handle that attention.
Ah.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared. ये सब आता नहीं है ना, आके सीखना
हाँ,
पड़ता है.
हाँ,
एक
कुछ
दिन
दिखाता भी
सडनली
नहीं
हो जाता है.
Yeah.
I still feel anxious sometimes when there's overwhelmingly positive response. It makes me very anxious.
Okay.
I'm still learning to sort of.
Mhm.
I was like, how will I handle this? You know.
Yeah.
So that was one. I think Hunter also, because a lot of them still connect me with Hunter. I think Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota has his own thing. There's Afsos. There's also like the whole set of people from Badai Do, which was like such a small,
absolutely
it was
amazing.
just it was like a special appearance sort of a part for me, and then I did it only because Harsh was doing that film.
I remember एक second I was watching बधाई दो का special screening. So मिर्ची में I was working इससे पहले, and वहाँ से they had sent me to write a review of sorts. तो मैं special screening पे गया था, and I was watching ऐसे बैठो, and suddenly you come like, oh, and I was like, क्या हुआ? I'm like,
Gulshan Devaiah. Correct.
I know, and I was very surprised by it because my manager was seeing it. I think कहीं पे उसके घर के पास में cinema hall में गई थी, and she's like, people are clapping and shit. like that.
Yes.
So I was like,
Oh, wow.
really?
110% I can attest that because I was there and I was one of those.
So I think it's different for different people. And now, of course, Atmaram has really it's
picked up.
Yeah, it's picked up and it's created its own separate like
People are
fandom.
demanding a
A
spin-off.
spin-off for
So it has its
Atmaram,
own
yeah.
fandom. So
Yeah.
I think it's all of these things add up also. But like Devilal, ये सब का अलग है. But the first time I really felt something that was palpable was Shaitan. After Shaitan मैं सड़क पे घूमता था तो ये like, hey, you're that guy Casey from Shaitan.
Yeah.
And like वो गाना कहाँ मिलेगा दोस्त? यही पूछ रहे थे. एल्बम में नहीं था वो गाना. like वो गाना चाहिए यार दिला दे.
Lovely.
If we can quickly talk about Afsos also.
Oh yes.
It has its
fantastic.
Afsos also has his own fan base.
Yeah, I'm
जिन्होंने
sure.
देखा है
I'm
ना?
sure. Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's a
Not
very
a doubt.
niche sort of a fan base.
Absolutely.
but-
So I also do stand up a little bit here and there. And
isn't it funny that you're sitting down?
You should have started off. But you worked with Anirban Dasgupta and Saurabh Ghosh on that.
Yes.
How did you get involved with Afsos?
They
How did they get in
pitched it
touch
to
with
me.
you?
Anirban pitched it to me, Anirban and Saurabh and the Dibyo Chatterjee.
Yeah.
So they came and they met me at a cafe and then they pitched the whole idea to me and I told them कि यार ये तो या बहुत सही बनेगा या टट्टी.
Yeah.
बीच का बना ही नहीं बन
बीच का
सकता
है
है.
ही
कुछ तुम लोगों का कॉन्सेप्ट ऐसा है
Yeah.
ये कहाँ से कहाँ चला गया है यार ये.
बहुत
And
बढ़िया.
then it's like, can you develop this? And because they didn't really write it. It was just an idea.
Yeah.
They got back to me in about 6 months. They promptly got back to me with the written scripts, with the episodes and all that. And I was like, it's really good, but who you planning to make? And all that. So they had approached a few people, and one of the names that they said was Anubhuti Kashyap. So I knew Anubhuti through Anurag. Of course, she's Anurag's sister. And I had seen a film that she had made. It was a short. Moy Marjani was brilliant. It was really good. Check it out on YouTube. And it was really nice.
Wow.
And I was kind of like, ki haan. So I met her somewhere else.
Okay.
And then I chatted with her and she seemed to be excited about it.
Yeah.
Nothing was decided, but she's like, हाँ ऐसा कुछ है. I'm quite excited. So that also gave me like, yeah, there are these guys, they have these crazy ideas, but they also have a director now who I like, who I get along with and who I can trust, who seems to be excited about this.
About the
So I think
project,
this now is falling in place.
Yeah.
Then it's made sense and then they put the cast together and all that. And the more time we spent with each other, we kind of like, discovered each other and enjoyed the whole process. And all three of them would be there all the time on set. And it was really nice because all the improvs and everything, because they're also constantly they're comics and they're improving. I also had my ideas, my 2 cents about this. So वो सब मिल जुला के ना ये अफसोस वो बहुत ही अच्छा प्रोसेस था. हमने बहुत enjoy किया.
Like even
बहुत subtle प्यारा comedy है वो.
What a great. Like even the one-liner for the show is just so amazing.
Yeah.
It's about a guy who hires a hitman or a hitman service to kill himself.
उसके
To
साथ
basically
ट्रेजेडी
kill.
पता है क्या हुआ?
हाँ, हो गया.
लॉकडाउन से पहले रिलीज हो गया.
Oh यार.
किसको पता था? अगर हमको ना
Had we predicted?
ऊपर से फोन कॉल आया था ना कि अभी मत करो,
Yes.
अभी मत करो, रुक जाओ 2 महीने.
बहुत
I
viral होता है.
swear.
भाई लोग को
बहुत बिल्कुल.
देख लेते
Guys,
हैं.
if you haven't
That time
watched
also.
Afsos,
Yeah.
just to the audience, if
Yeah,
you
तुम्हें
haven't-
अफसोस होना चाहिए.
हाँ, like just go and watch it. It's one of the best series that I've watched. I've enjoyed it
Absolutely.
thoroughly. Like
So good.
मतलब वो 20 25 मिनट के 30 मिनट के episodes हैं.
हाँ, it's about half an hour each. It's
Yeah.
about 7
7-8 episodes. Yes.
It's just crazy कहाँ से it goes from where. And I really like that character that I was able to create.
Yeah.
Like Nakulu, naam and not cool.
Not
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You were
So,
great. Hiba ma'am was
How do you make a
great.
loser interesting for people to watch? He's an absolute loser. वो
Yeah.
कुछ नहीं अचीव किया उसके लाइफ में. हमने मतलब वो प्यार भी हो जाता है तो गलत लोगों से जो उसको
इंसान से, हाँ.
he's like really he's lost the plot completely. His own family doesn't like talking to him and all that. But so I was able, like, we have to still make it interesting.
Yeah.
This guy interesting for people. Why should they be interested in a loser's life and what happens to him? So and then from some कहाँ से वो it goes into like
हाँ.
a completely different universe as a set of characters come and you immortality and Amrut and all those things from
Oh, we, हाँ.
so
Also, like as we're talking about the comedies that you've done, if you had कि ऐसा जैसे ऊपर से कॉल है आपके पास कि आपके पास सारे एक्टर्स एट योर डिस्पोजल है, आपको अगर एक 5 एक्टर्स ensemble बनाना हो फॉर द बेस्ट कॉमेडी फिल्म, तो आपके लिए बेस्ट वो टॉप 5 एक्टर्स फ्रॉम बॉलीवुड क्या रहेंगे?
deceased one also is-
Absolutely, yeah.
so Mahmood,
Okay, wow.
Wow.
Great. Yeah.
Yes.
Govinda,
Yes,
Absolutely.
of course. Yes.
Vadivelu from the Tamil industry. वो लोग हिंदी बुलवा लेंगे उनसे.
Okay.
ठीक है.
भारती अचरेकर
Okay.
ये हो गया. रणबीर कपूर.
रणबीर कपूर.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think he's good. Yeah.
We've always seen him in
कुछ
very
तो क्रीम पफ होना चाहिए
emotional-
ना इन सब के बीच में.
Fair, totally fair.
I think no, I think he's
Extremely versatile.
yeah, and he's really interesting when he does comedy as well. Like he's
Absolutely, yeah.
अजब नहीं गजब कहानी.
Yeah.
नहीं, even that the अपना जो अनुराग बासु की फिल्म थी ना जो बहुत
बर्फी,
hit हुई थी.
बर्फी.
Yeah.
फिजिकल कॉमेडी यू नो.
Yes.
Very good. Very well done.
And Besharam also. But like
Yeah.
I'm really sorry that I like all the people who are associated with that film, but I couldn't.
आपने उससे नोटिस किया, आपने बेला चाओ गाना सुना?
From
Money
show,
Heist.
Money Heist, yeah.
उसमें बेला चाओ का एग्जैक्ट सेम ट्यून का एक और गाना है जिसमें रणबीर कपूर
I
But
really don't know, yaar.
that's very common
It's
in
so
Bollywood.
bizarre, you know.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah.
like, how do
Yeah.
all such wonderful people, such talented people, come together and completely get it so off the
Wrong.
charts
Yeah.
wrong? Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
You do wonder that. Like
And this-
sometimes you
this-
see like
this
amazing
song-
star cast. You'll be
Yeah.
excited for the project
Yeah.
beforehand. And be like, yaar, why did nothing?
and it is like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it
you
happens.
can't really tell. You can't
Yeah.
tell, like, really. Like how you can't tell what's going to be a hit. You just
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
tell that.
Like because see, you know the effort is the same. The effort that goes into making a bad film is the same effort that goes into making a good film. Everyone is thinking that they're making a very good film. Or that's
See,
the
there
aim.
is a thing about
Right?
sincerity also, how sincere you are in your approach and all those things.
Yeah.
Right? But still, that's not a sure shot way of like guaranteeing
Yeah,
anything. Yeah.
anything.
So I was very surprised because poster देख के I was like,
और ऊपर से स्टार का
क्या
ऋषि-
लग रहा है पोस्टर और
मतलब
डिक्की
हाँ,
में
डिक्की में
like,
ऐसे
yeah.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
and he was white hot at that time.
Yeah.
Like, Ranbir Kapoor
I
was
remember.
white hot.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Like
yes.
rock star, and then like he
Barfi.
was like really like anything
do
he
anything.
touched was in like,
Gold, yeah.
platinum. Like he was the most sought after actor.
Exactly.
Everybody
Yeah.
wanted to work with
Work.
him. They were throwing money at him
Yeah.
and scripts at him. He was that like कुछ भी कर सकता था. So obviously, and then when you have the director of Dabang, and then this one, now you have a different sort of an actor and an emerging superstar. It just seemed like the right
Right
choices,
combination,
and
right
really
choices,
everything
yeah.
about the film until the actual film
Yeah.
seemed so good.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, and it was also the first time Rishi ji and Neetu ji and
all of them were together in one
Ranbir Kapoor
Yeah.
were together in one film
Yeah, right.
and in one frame.
Do you believe in so this I've heard this being said a lot that Shahrukh Khan is the last of the superstars. Do you believe in that, or do you think that there will emerge another superstar? And do you have any predictions or who could that be?
That really depends. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I fully agree, and I don't know if I fully disagree.
Fully
also.
disagree
Okay,
also.
sure.
To some extent, yes, it's probably right. There are two kinds of fame that you find in the entertainment industry. One, where your audience loves you.
जी.
Two, where your audience loves your work and the characters.
Yeah.
So, looking at Shahrukh in that lens, people love him. Yes, his work they love too, but it's always him. You're
Him
always
first,
like कि
yeah.
शाहरुख की picture है.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened with Pathan also.
हाँ, शाहरुख की picture है. So obviously like be it Shahrukh Khan or Mr. Bachchan or Sridevi or Madhuri Dixit or Govinda or
Salmaan.
Rajnikant, Salman. They're great examples where that stardom is like when the people love you. Okay?
Yeah.
That has its limitations also because they don't like you to see too many different variations of you. They
Yeah.
want to see you the way they like
They
you
like
and
you,
they love
exactly,
you.
yeah.
Oh, that's the trappings of stardom. So if you look at it from that perspective, because the way people have more choice for entertainment, it's not really and because the highest the theatrical stardom is the paramount. Like nothing really beats that.
Yeah.
You can be the biggest star in television and through the series formats, through the streaming networks, but it's
जो
not
theater
the
है जो
same.
हाँ.
It's not the same comparison. I mean, I'm not discrediting anybody over here.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just being realistic about this.
True.
Like a lot of people have been successful. I'm not taking that success away from you all. I want that also for myself. But I'm just being that's the paramount.
Yeah.
So considering the changing environments and the way people get their entertainment, it's very likely that kind of staggering stardom will not be seen for some time. Maybe if there has to be some environment change has to happen.
Yeah.
So only then, because that kind of movie stardom, perhaps that way, yeah. The Shahrukh, Salman, Amir, Hrithik, and these were probably the last of their kinds. And
You mentioned Govinda in one of your top 5 people. Do you have a personal Govinda favorite film?
Bade Miyan Chote Miyan.
Oh, love it.
It's not one of his most popular films,
Yeah.
but I absolutely love it. Because I like demos. I like Vijusha also. So it's like really like you have Mr. Bachchan and there's such contrasting styles and
Exactly,
contrasting in
yeah.
terms of look and height and everything.
Right.
And it was just hilarious.
Hilarious.
And it was like वो गाना आता है कि दिल जान से मरता हूँ लेकिन ये सच है तेरे भाई से डरता हूँ. देख रहे हो, ढूंढ रहे हो. I was like, my God, क्या है? कोई कोरियोग्राफी कुछ नहीं, मतलब he's like वो सिर्फ छोटी उंगली ये look से, and he's one of the best, and in my opinion he's the first dancing leading man. Now people would say Jitendra or Mithun Chakravarti. They're all. Mithun Chakravarti was definitely a good dancer, but he is not of the same level. Govinda is a proper dancer. Mithun was great. His style was great. It was maza aata tha. But ऐसे proper dancer नहीं था.
But as you said as you mentioned about him being the dancing superstar, the first one, Saroj Khan, the late Saroj Khan has famously said that a lot of people say that Hrithik is the best dancer, but I will always credit Govinda a better dancer because Govinda को देख के आपका मन करता है.
नहीं, वो पूरा डांसिंग को हीरो को डांस करना है उसके बाद आया. ऋतिक को देखने पर हीरो की बॉडी होनी चाहिए, वो आया. डोले शोले का वो आया. डांस का गोविंदा को देख के बाद.
I swear, yes. I love his दूल्हे राजा also.
दूल्हे राजा is one of my favorite.
शाहरुख को देखने के बाद हर किसी को शाहरुख खान बनना था. नहीं बन पाएंगे ना.
नहीं बन पाएंगे.
वो हो ही नहीं सकता. वो आदमी मतलब the way he works is just you can't sustain that kind of energy that it's 24 hours. Shahrukh Khan is Shahrukh Khan
24/7,
all the
yes.
time. You can't
Yeah.
really. There's
Have
only
you
one.
had the chance to interact with
I've
Shahrukh?
met him once. I've been to his house also. Spent
Oh.
three excruciating hours because at that point of time I was very uncomfortable. It was the early years.
So you mean like nervous? You mean nervous about
I was
meeting
super
Shahrukh?
nervous. There were so many other
man,
people
I can't
also.
imagine.
in
I would
that.
be
There
the same.
was a party in his house and I was like, what do I do? I don't deserve to be here. I'm
God.
just here because I'm friends with some other people who are here.
How's the house? Shady house, no?
No, lots of things.
Yeah,
Lots of things.
I'm sure.
There's a big marble statue of, I think, Radha Krishna, which is quite
wow.
huge.
Amazing.
It's quite beautiful. And
Okay.
a big dining table and lots of lights on the floor. And I haven't seen the entire house because we only went into the whole area where
Okay.
they entertain the
Guests.
guests,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
quite
sure.
a big area.
Sure, yeah.
Which I think it starts from the side and it comes to the main like Mannat जो
Yeah.
पुरानी building है वो है, but the actual residential area and all that is Mannat Annexure, which is in the
जो
back.
उसके पीछे
Yeah.
और वो इतना लंबा है.
correct,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
Because it's a heritage property, I think they've conserved it and there are regulations for renovations and
But it has
demolitions
also
and all
become
that.
iconic अब कि
Yeah,
वो एक white
Yeah.
जो वो building
वो
है.
मेन गेट तो ऐसे वो शो के लिए है वो
Well,
आना जाना
है
तो
तो पीछे से हो रहा है.
आना जाना तो
अभी मैं
वो फोटो सेल्फी खिंचाने के लिए
Exactly. My nanny had come to Mumbai, and then I took her to all this celeb house spotting, and she was the most fascinated at Mannat and Jalsa.
Yeah,
The most fascination
Of
that
course,
she
makes
had.
sense,
Amitabh, जैसे
no,
वो
not Galaxy Apartments. She wasn't excited.
I'll tell you what happened. I showed her. I'm like, तो ये सलमान का, and she's like, वो यहाँ रहता है.
I mean, it's a good building, man. What are you talking about? It's hilarious.
But yeah.
वही है कि मुंबई में ना sometimes you see there was a photo I think Hrithik Roshan had posted a while back and the walls are peeling.
Seal and
And it's like ये मुंबई में ना
Bombay
सुपरस्टार
problem
की भी यही औकात है
That-
गुरु. Same problem. सीपेज का problem उनको भी है तेरे को भी है. And it's a leveler. You feel like हाँ यार हमारे घर में भी सीपेज है क्या? एक के घर में सीपेज है हमारे घर में भी सीपेज है गुरु है. Same है हम तो.
आपके साथ कभी कोई ऐसा स्टार स्ट्रक मोमेंट हुआ है किसी सेलेब के साथ?
वो टाइम हुआ था जब मैं शाहरुख के यहाँ गया था तो थोड़ा मैं ये हुआ था. But that was also early days and I didn't really like I wasn't feeling very comfortable and so like but it happens sometimes. I think when I first met Irfan was quite a special moment for me.
Yeah.
Madhuri, I saw Madhuri and it was like really I just said hello to her and she's such a graceful
I heard she's very sweet.
I didn't really interact with her
okay,
much.
okay.
We were like in it was some award function or something,
Yeah,
and we were
yeah.
sitting on the same row.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just said hello, ma'am, and I don't know. I just said hello, and she said hello back, and it was quite. I was like, oh my god, Madhuri.
Of course.
Okay, lastly, before we let you go, Jawan is coming out. Do you plan to watch it and what do you
I
think?
don't know. I'm getting really busy, so I'm like,
It's a no?
I'm sorry, Shahrukh.
Wow. I thought this would be a simple answer. You'll be like, yeah, we're looking forward.
It is a simple answer. He said no. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I'm getting really busy, so I don't think I'll find the time now. But
Really?
then
Okay.
maybe
Well,
at
of course,
some other
definitely,
point of
yeah.
time.
Okay.
But this is the lastly that I wanted to do. Like any further projects that are coming, lining up in the theaters on OTT
Yeah.
of
I
yours.
just like Ulaj, that's going to be a theatrical, I think. It's me, Janvi, and Roshan Matthew, and
Oh, nice.
Yang Chang, a whole bunch of Rajesh Telang, wonderful actors, Sachin Khedekar.
Can you tell us a little bit about
Jitendra
the
Joshi.
film?
It's a spy thriller.
Whoa.
Anything more than this, I'll have to like kill you or
Nahin.
Oh.
bury you alive.
Yeah.
But no.
You will vanish and suddenly everybody will be like, only shoes are left.
You'll have to get rid of our camera guy. Firstly, I think.
I'll definitely take his shirt though. He can keep his.
but I love spy thrillers there.
So that was my
That's the thing.
crime, gangster, spy thrillers, buddy cops. These are my
Yeah.
favorite genre of films. for
So I
sure.
just wrapped up for that one, and
Lovely.
going to start something which is a sort of a family comedy drama.
Nice.
So and then I'll probably do something which is an action series.
Ooh.
Like
Super
out and
exciting.
out like action series. Commando.
All these are slated for release this year, next year.
I don't know. पहले तो बनाने देना. पहले.
अच्छा, okay, बने भी नहीं हैं, ऐसा.
There's a series of mine which I had. The season 1 was released last year. Duranga. It came on Z5. So the season 2 will come now.
Oh, lovely. Also, by the way, special mention to Foot Fairy. I love the film.
Oh, thank you.
Love the film Foot Fairy. I and my dad watched it together. Like, so whenever I go to Delhi, हम लोग mostly क्या करते हैं, रात को कभी एक picture साथ में देख लिया, because we don't get that much time together. So we watch, one of the movies that we watched was Foot Fairy. A, it is special because of that, and B, Foot Fairy, amazing film. My dad at the end was like, but कौन था killer? ये तो बता.
See, let me share. I like Kanishk, who made the film, and his work is influenced, and that film is a sort of a homage to all the kind of films and directors who inspired him. So he made his first film. So sometimes directors have a tendency of putting their homages and all that. I really enjoyed working on the film, and we shot that film simultaneously in Hindi and Marathi in 30 days.
Wow.
So I would give all my first takes in Marathi, and I learnt all my lines in Marathi. I took about 1.5 to 2 months, and I would every day sit with my co-actors, and I had a trainer also, and we just read the script in Marathi. And then Hindi की तो मैंने पढ़ी ही नहीं थी script. सिर्फ मराठी की पढ़ाई की थी मैंने, और shoot जब start हुआ था, तो we started shooting, and then we picked up so much pace that 10 दिन का shoot हमने 6 दिन में खत्म कर दिया था. So I'm there are a lot of these moments, that feather in the cap sort of thing, that doesn't make any sense for people, because many people have not seen the film, and some people don't like the film. They're frustrated by the ending, and it's not really a successful film. But there are a lot of things that I take pride in for that, because of this. We really achieved these things, and me working in a language that I don't speak. And to do 2 films, so you're giving 2 shots of each.
Same thing, 2 shots, doing twice. Different languages.
So all the actors were hired, and most of them were could speak Hindi and Marathi. I was the only one who couldn't speak Marathi. I had to learn all my lines.
Wow.
And I quite enjoyed working with the crew. It was not the most experienced crew, but Kanishk had put a team, had run them so well that it was really smooth. He planned it so well that and it was a difficult thing. Of course, for the first filmmaker, na itna budget aapko milta nahi hai.
True.
So, despite all of those things, he was able to deliver the film, and it's not a perfect film. It's not perfect.
It's a good
It doesn't, a lot of things you don't really get. It's a film about where, funnily, the protagonist of the film, me, he's always wrong in the film. That's usually not the case.
Not the case, yes.
Which is why, and that's what the film is about. Sometimes we don't get the things that we want in life, no matter how hard you try. Except that doesn't really come across as that. It doesn't. So that's the shortcoming of the film. But that's how I interpreted the film. Like I said, I'm an interpreter of text. That's how I interpreted it. And that's why I was interested in it. I was like, here's a guy who seems like this is the guy. ये हीरो है पिक्चर का,
यही करेगा,
बट वो हर किसी सीन में वो केस के बारे में गलत है. Actually, his subordinates, most of the other people working with are more or less in the right
direction.
But and after a point, he's like hell bent on like I'll force fit this into whoever I can. So
that is when he goes and beats the manager.
And then I was not happy with the edit. It was meddled with, I think, and then they kind of ruined it. The film should end on the tracks when you see, and then you don't see anybody. There's nothing beyond that.
हाँ, उसमें end में एक रशिया का भी scene है.
The film ends when the boy says कि एक uncle आए थे, and then you look at the track and there's nobody. That's the end of the film. That's the end of the film. That's inspired by Memories of Murder. And in a way, it's not a scene-to-scene copy, but it's the same concept. Because that's how that film ends. So because he was influenced by that, and then we have some footage of Memories of Murder also we put in that. Anything beyond that is not the film that I read and not the film we shot. So this is a little bit of, I don't really blame anybody. I'm sure people had their reasons to do it, but I wasn't. If you ask me, that's not the film that we wanted. The film ends at the track.
Yeah. Nice. Lovely. So guys, look forward to Ulaj. And again, as I said, do check out Afsos for sure. And Guns and Gulaabs, if you haven't, first of all, what are you doing if you haven't yet? But
it's okay, you must be busy.
Like you are for Jawan, yes. You're getting busy. You're getting busy, very busy guys nowadays.
Elections.
Yeah. वही तो ना, अभी तो एक वोट डालना है ना. one election, one.
And
Okay.
Bharat also.
Yes.
Anyway,
Thank you so much.
thanks so much, Gulshan, for being on the
Yeah.
episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and
Yeah.
as I said, मेरे लिए mostly ये था कि I had to tell you कि I loved the work that I told you about.
Yeah, same.
It's an honor for you to for us
For
to
you,
have you.
it's an honor for you to be here. Yes,
Definitely an honor for me.
So suddenly we can Kapil Sharma again.
sorry. For us to have you.
Yeah, thank you for nurging me into the.
Yes, of course.
I'm really honored that I was here. And,
Yes.
I love
most
Lumix cameras. They should have some Lumix. It's just, I think it has an X. I really like X. Favorite letter. So, yeah.
If anything else you'd like to plug, please, before you leave.
No, I'd like to unplug right now.
Okay, let's unplug. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you
Follow
so
everyone
much.
on Instagram. Check out the other shows on the channel. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Share. You know what to do. Okay, bye bye.
Yeah, I'm really funny on Twitter, so you might want to check me out. On
So check him out on Twitter and
And of course,
the
Instagram.
Instagram,
Twitter.
Okay, Twitter.
Instagram पे हमें, Twitter पे हैं. Okay.
Facebook तो यार मैं
अब
भूल ही
तो
गया.
गया. Facebook तो
भूल ही
गया.
गया.
All right. Bye bye, guys. See you.
Okay, bye. See you guys. Bye.
IVM